News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Montana Rail Link reports a 7,000-gallon diesel fuel spill in the train yard. Good morning, everyone. Montana Morning. It's Friday, December 16th, 2016. We are expecting very, very cold temperatures, especially tonight and into tomorrow morning. We'll get to that here in just a moment. Right now, the sky is cloudy. We have some light snow and 14 degrees. Roads are snow-covered, snow-packed, and icy, although I must say that the city crews have done an excellent job getting the main thoroughfares all cleared off after yesterday's big snow. Our newscast this morning sponsored by Big Sky Breakout, Missoula's premier escape room on the north side of the Big Yellow House close to downtown and the interstate. Our top story this morning, at about 8 o'clock last night, Montana Rail Link reported that a pipeline component malfunctioned at the Missoula Rail Yard, spilling approximately 7,000 gallons of diesel on the ground. Spokesman Jim Lewis said MRL officials shut down the pipeline and repaired the break as soon as it was detected. MRL notified Missoula Emergency Services, who, following their protocol, then notified the Montana Department of Environmental Quality. As of midnight, nearly 2,600 gallons of the spilled fuel had been recovered with the assistance of two contractors who specialize in environmental remediation. So far, over 1,100 yards of contaminated soil have also been removed. Rail Link said they will continue to monitor the situation and work with the DEQ as they recover the spilled fuel and clean up the rail yard. Old Man Winter's preparing a real entrance into western Montana in the next 24 to 36 hours with continued snow, developing strong winds, and bitterly cold temperatures by the weekend. Meteorologist Jeff Kitzmiller with the National Weather Service in Missoula says conditions are just right for a powerful winter event.
All this snow is really light. It's pretty dry. It will blow around really easily, so we're pretty worried about drifting, blowing, low visibility, going back over these roads that have already been plowed, and maybe making some really bad driving conditions.
Kitzmiller says frigid temperatures are also on the way.
Saturday morning, -7 is what we have for Missoula, but we're looking at the potential for it to be colder than that. That does not include the wind chill. So the wind chill will be a factor through Friday night, where we'll probably see pretty close to -20 on our wind chill.
Forecasters are warning residents in western Montana to prepare for bitterly cold temperatures through the weekend. 3 more defendants in an identity theft ring that so far has affected over 47 victims in the Missoula area appeared in justice court yesterday. 43-year-old Tamara Smola, 39-year-old Darcy Siegel, and 34-year-old Regina Lestico have been charged with multiple counts of theft, forgery, and identity theft. Deputy Missoula County Attorney Carla Painter described the wide-ranging scheme, beginning with Tamara Smola.
The reason I'm asking for such a substantial amount of bail in a nonviolent offense is that the defendant simply will not stop reoffending. She's had multiple instances of contact with law enforcement. She's confessed to these crimes, but then continues to attempt to forge documents and steal money.
Painter has said a massive addiction to methamphetamine has been the driving force behind Smola's criminal activity.
In an interview with Detective Stacy Lear, she admitted that she has a meth addiction so severe that it costs nearly $200 a day to get enough meth based on where her addiction is. So I think if she's out in the community, she's only going to reoffend.
Painter also charged Darcy Siegel with the same offenses.
Same song, different verse, Judge. I am requesting bond in the amount of $100,000 for the same reasons I articulated with Ms. Smola. The difference here with Ms. Siegel is that she has quite a substantial criminal history. In fact, she has a pending felony case with me in which she has pled guilty.
Painter advises anyone in the Missoula area who may believe their mail has been stolen or their identities compromised should contact Detective Stacy Lear with the Missoula Police Department. Her number is 552-6300. A Billings school resource officer says his patrol car was shot at while he was driving around the city. The Billings Gazette reports that a press release from the Billings Police Department says Officer George Zorzakis, quote, heard a snapping sound, end quote, while driving yesterday and thought it was just ice breaking away from underneath his vehicle. The release says Zorzakis arrived at Riverside Middle School to find a bullet hole behind the rear driver's side passenger door. Police say a bullet fragment was later recovered from behind the back seat of the patrol vehicle. No arrests have been made. Police have not yet identified any suspects. At Wednesday's Missoula City Council Committee of the Whole meeting, differing views were raised over the issue of financing, the debt incurred by the city to purchase the utility, as well as projected capital expenditures. The meeting began with a recap from attorney Natasha Prinzing-Jones over some of the underlying issues about why it was, quote, more necessary, unquote, for the city to own the utility as opposed to a for-profit firm like Park Water Company.
That 50% of the pipes, the underground pipes, were 45 years or older. 20% of the mains had exceeded their useful life. 4 billion gallons of water were lost on an annual basis for a leakage of unprecedented magnitude of 50% or greater. And all of this information was based upon Mountain Water's own internal documents.
I apologize for the poor sound quality there. During the public comment period, Mountain Water's in-house counsel Ross Miller referenced a letter from the management of the utility critical of the city in several issues, one of which involved the risk of short-term financing.
The risks of the short-term financing fall to ratepayers and employees. Because this is a revenue bond, water rates must automatically increase or expenses must automatically decrease if there's not enough revenue to cover the bonds. Given that payroll is the primary and largest non-fixed expense, payroll is the most likely area to cut expenses, meaning these risks may fall directly on the employees' backs.
Committee Chairperson Marilyn Marler said another update on the city's progress on taking over operations of the water utility will come in a few weeks. Montana environmental officials say a permit application for a proposed copper mine near a Smith River tributary is deficient. Yesterday's rejection of Tintina, Montana's application by the Department of Environmental Quality is the second this year. The agency says the deficiencies include unfinished testing and incomplete data in the application. The company will have an opportunity to address the problems and resubmit the applications. It's been a busy week for snowplow drivers in western Montana. On behalf of all the snowplow drivers, Missoula County Public Works County Engineer Eric Dixon is asking the public to be extra cautious.
Nothing more than what we would like to hope or think is common courtesy. We're out there driving on the same roads that the public is driving on, and we don't have any special powers just because we're in plow trucks. We need to chain up when we go up hills and on slick roads.
Dixon said the plows can be difficult to manage on crowded roads.
They're a little bit bigger. They're a little bit slower to react for turning, braking, and accelerating. So if we can have a little extra room, whether someone's behind us or when they're passing in opposite directions, we're out there trying to do the best we can. All we ask for is a little patience and understanding, and we'll get to all of the roads that we need to maintain in a day.
The roads have been dangerously slick after the big snowfall Wednesday night. Yesterday, eyewitnesses reported seeing a snowplow that slid off the road near Milltown. Our News Talk time is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Blowing snow as we go throughout the day due to high winds will make travel hazardous at times, especially over mountain passes. High today of only 12, dropping down to minus 10 tonight with wind chills in the minus 10 range this afternoon. I'm meteorologist